tell Erika that.
Yeah.
Erika is very shrewd. She's very smart. It was a great story. I can't really tell you who this was, but it was a very important person. And it happened within hours of the news. And the call goes in, she takes it because it was a very important person. And the question was to her, okay, so this is a starting point. Like, what do you know?
Andrew Kolvet just said something, and it completely changed how people are looking at the Erika Kirk situation. Not loudly, not directly, but if you really listen to it, it doesn't sound like someone guessing. It sounds like someone who already knows. And that's where this gets interesting, because this story didn't start with some big reveal. It started with small details, the kind most people ignore. At first, it was easy to brush everything off. Just rumors, internet noise, nothing solid. But then Andrew spoke, and suddenly, the tone changed. He didn't sound confused. He didn't sound like someone trying to figure things out. He sounded calm, certain, in control. And that's what made people stop and think. Because when someone is reacting in real time, there's usually hesitation, uncertainty, even emotion. But this felt different.
And she was like, I know everything. And I was like, that's amazing.
Questions were already being asked after things had already started unfolding. So people began asking their own questions. Why describe her like that? Why emphasize control in a situation that was supposed to be unpredictable? And slowly, the focus started to shift. From just Erika to Andrew himself. Because the more you listen to him, the more you notice something. He never says too much. But he never says too little either. It's always just enough. Enough to move the story forward. Enough to make you think. Enough to leave something unsaid. And that kind of balance doesn't just happen by accident. Then people started going back, looking at older clips, older interviews. And that's when something changed. Before everything, Andrew sounded neutral.
I've known Erika since they started dating, since Charlie and Erika started dating. I remember the first time I met Erika, it was actually at Politicon in Los Angeles many years back. And yeah, and I was like, who is this gal? Like, you know, and Charlie was like, oh, she's hanging out with us today, you know. Charlie, you could tell there was something different though, and I logged it. And Erika has always been tremendous, and she never sought the limelight. She was always very happy to sort of be doing her own thing and just be supportive of Charlie. And she's never been anything but just high character, just warm. She was a total asset to Charlie in the sense that, you know, Charlie was so missional. He was so direct. He was so kind of on just, you know, Energizer Bunny, and direct about what he needed to get done. And Erika was this humanizing presence just for the staff, for you know, whether it was donors or politicians or whoever he was meeting with. And she was just so, but content to be in the background and be the mom.
It changes what you see, what you know, and sometimes what you choose to say. There were also moments where his reactions felt slightly ahead, speaking with confidence about things that weren't fully clear yet. Now, none of this proves anything on its own, but patterns don't just appear out of nowhere, and people started noticing those patterns. Again and again. Then there's the way he answers certain questions, or sometimes avoids them. Small pauses, careful wording, a very controlled tone, not uncertainty. Awareness. And awareness is where things start getting complicated, because now people are asking, is he holding something back, or is he trying not to say too much? And those are two very different things. Then came the moment that really made people stop. When viewers started comparing timelines, something didn't line up. Details that should have matched didn't. And once that idea spread, everything shifted. Because when timelines don't match, people don't ignore it. They go deeper. They re-watch everything. They analyze every clip. They start connecting dots. And the more they looked, the more complicated it became. Now it's not just about what was said publicly. It's about what might have been happening behind the scenes.
I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here. So if you're expecting to marry someone that I was blessed with, like a Charlie, you have to be the type of woman that will attract a Charlie. Are you going to church? Are you going to Bible study?
She's strategic, always ahead. At first, it sounded normal. Now, it sounds like something else, like insight. And insight usually comes from experience. So now the question people keep coming back to is simple. How much did Andrew really know? And more importantly, when did he know it? Because if his understanding goes further back than people think, then this story didn't just start recently. It started much earlier. And what we're seeing now might just be a small part of it. Which means one thing. There's still more that hasn't come out yet. And until it does, the questions won't stop. So, here's the real question.
Really handsome.
You look gorgeous. Are you fixing I got a little bacon. Babe, that's deep in there. Give them a cleavage. People want cleavage. Showcase it.
To the Israel firsters' frustrations is the fact that everybody can see that something's not right with Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk, and that includes the biggest podcaster in the world, Joe Rogan. They were so angry because he went on his show and just kind of said, particularly the CIA documentary, because they came out and they were suddenly trying to gaslight us and were, the CIA didn't produce the documentary. Okay, yes, but the head of the CIA is in it. Okay, you gotta get approval from the CIA to be in a CIA documentary. That doesn't just happen casually. Like he says, are you getting that phone call from your agent? And no, she's not acting. She's specifically referring to her mother's business model.
Then Candace went even further.
EMPs. So she's not acting. She's involved. And so people, of course, online were so angry about it. The Israel firsters, Mark Levin, tweeted this. Is this some AI production? If not, what a total disgrace. Then this Eitan Fishberger said, this is some sick stuff from Joe Rogan, as if Erika hasn't been through enough already. How about just acknowledging that you do not have the power to transform reality? They did a massive purge of employees a few days ago, or at the end of, I guess, last week, you could say. What did you hear about that purge?
I heard there were 30 to 40 people purged, that they were looking for the leak. They knew there are leaks out of TPUSA. They are terrified of these leaks because of what TPUSA has been up to. And rather than try to be an honest organization, it's just, let's get rid of all the people we think might be disclosing that we're a dishonest organization.
It's just, I can't. I cannot. I am not capable of whatever that. When I saw this, I realized I do not know enough words. I had to consult a thesaurus, and I still could not land upon the correct adjective to describe how I felt when I saw that tent. The people taking selfies under a recreation. I don't know if it's actually the tent. It looks like it's pretty old, or a tent that Charlie died under. That's what was happening at AmFest. Horrified. I was aghast. I don't think I ever described myself as aghast. I was aghast. It was ghastly to look at that and to realize that they made a conscious decision to allow that to happen. To what end? The person who approved this tent was the amazing Elizabeth McCoy. Potentially more amazing than her husband, Michael McCoy. Elizabeth McCoy was the person who approved this tent, so there's no way that they can come out and pretend like Erika didn't know this was happening, because she's very close with Elizabeth McCoy. Okay, she's very close with her. So for everybody on the outside looking into this, AmFest is when we realized that something very disturbing is happening in America. I feel like AmFest is, or what it did for me was it contributed to my realization that the future, the dark future that everyone's always predicting, like the AI future, it's here. We're actually here. I think that we are fighting machine.
People stop. When viewers started comparing timelines, something didn't line up. Details that should have matched didn't. And once that idea spread, everything shifted. Because when timelines don't match, people don't ignore it. They go deeper. They re-watch everything. They analyze every clip. They start connecting dots. And the more they looked, the more complicated it became. Now it's not just about what was said publicly. It's about what might have been happening behind the scenes. And Andrew? He's right in the middle of that conversation. Not fully at the center, but definitely not on the outside either, which makes his role hard to ignore. Because if he was just a bystander, none of this would feel this layered. But it does. And that's why people are paying attention. Because sometimes it's not the loud statements that matter. It's the quiet ones, the subtle ones, the ones that don't seem important until later. Remember how this started? Just a few words. A simple description. She's strategic, always ahead. At first, it sounded normal. Now, it sounds like something else, like insight. And insight usually comes from experience. So now the question people keep coming back to is simple. How much did Andrew really know? And more importantly, when did he know it? Because if his understanding goes further back than people think, then this story didn't just start recently. It started much earlier. And what we're seeing now might just be a small part of it. Which means one thing. There's still more that hasn't come out yet. And until it does, the questions won't stop. So, here's the real question. If Andrew knows more than he's saying, why hold back? And if he doesn't, why does it feel like he does? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoy content that connects the dots and uncovers what others miss, make sure you subscribe to Roundtable Celebrity, because this story might not be over yet.